Good afternoon,
Good evening.
or whatever time you're listening.
And you're listening to
Listen very carefully. The podcast for people who love all things hello.
So, let's begin.
I'm Kim Hartman, and I played the part of Helga.
I'm Guy Siner, and I played Lieutenant Gruber.
And I am Richard Gibson, and I played Herr Flick. Everybody happy?
Yes.
So, Series 3, Episode 15, 2 cameras, A Quiet Honeymoon. And we are peasants on air. Watch the mouse.
Oh, the mouse is back.
Kim's
Yes.
mouse is back.
just
Where
thought
has the
I
mouse
must-
gone?
He'd just gone back to where he normally lives.
Oh,
In his little...
We forgot in the
burrow.
last episode,
In
we
his
forgot
mouse
to put
hole.
him in his place on the on-air sign. But now he's in his place.
Right, so, A Quiet Honeymoon. Who's going to start?
Well, so I'd just like to say that this is now a year later, because
Oh, yes.
this episode is Series 7.
The first episode of the 7th series, so there was a
That's-
gap of a
Okay.
year, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But
it
not in
shows-
story terms.
No.
not in story terms.
No, it's the story picks up from where the last series ended.
That's right, but we made that a year ago.
Yes.
And
it-
I think the biggest difference that you can see to start with is that David Croft is no longer involved in it at all. He is not co-writing it. He is not producing it, directing
Or
it.
directing it, yeah.
I bet he was producing it a bit.
No, he wasn't. Mike Stevens produced it.
So he came right out of it.
I
Yes.
think David was still exec, wasn't he?
He was also busy with You Rang Me Lord and Oh, Dr. Beeching.
Well, he just started You
Dr.
Rang My
Beeching.
Lord, hadn't
Eddie?
he?
Or you rang? What?
I think it was You Rang that had been going for a couple of series, and
Yes,
he
it
decided
had.
he was going to concentrate
Yes,
on
it
that.
had, because I was in it.
But I remember getting the sensation when David left that, we're plateauing out now. One had always felt every series you did, there was a future to this thing. It was very exciting and it was sort of moving onwards and upwards. And suddenly, when we started doing this one, I felt we were beginning to plateau.
We were very unlucky as well, because it wasn't just David leaving. We'd lost 2 characters.
Yes.
We'd lost Monsieur Leclerc, we'd lost
Bertorelli.
and Bertorelli. And so both of those were replaced with new actors who obviously were coming in and
Not
fresh
that there
and
was
not-
anything wrong with them. It's
No,
just it wasn't consistent.
But they were new. Yeah, they were new, and they had to find their feet, and that took time.
Yeah.
Plus, of course, we have to say that in the meantime, during that last year, Gordon had had his terrible accident.
That's right.
And had
For those who
hospital.
don't know, there was a hurricane and he was in his car, and some sort of advertising hoarding, like those estate agents things, came, and it was one of those things you bang into the ground, and the point of it went and buried itself in his
Buried
head.
itself
and
in
he
his
had-
He'd
head.
actually pulled off the road. It was, I believe it was
In a
sort
car
of
park.
Westway or somewhere.
No.
And he'd thought there were dustbins flying across the road and things. And he thought, I'm going to get out of the way of all this. And so he
Right.
pulled into a car park and had just parked. And this
Came
massive
through the
great-
windscreen of
like
his
a
car.
javelin went through the windscreen.
Yeah.
And he survived. It was
Terrible accident.
absolutely amazing. And he was back to work, and all you can see a slight scar, but I mean, it was amazing, the recovery he made.
It was incredible, wasn't it? Yeah.
And considering how serious the accident had been, it's extraordinary that he was effectively his old self.
Yeah.
Although I think you can tell, certainly in his first monologue, you can tell that he is slightly searching for the words, which you never spotted or never thought about in any of the preceding ones.
We would notice it, but people watching probably wouldn't.
No.
Is that right? Yeah.
No.
On a kind of general level, I think we're allowed to criticise, aren't we? I don't think we have to pretend that we
Of
like
course
things
we are.
that we
Of course
didn't.
we are.
And I mean, I think it's a magnificent achievement, and we've already had an episode by Paul Adam before. Are we?
Sorry, no, it was just, I thought the scraping of the thing across
know,
the table was
I know,
not very
but
good
usually
for
it's
sound.
me who says it.
I know.
He's looking, hang on a
Yes.
minute, she's ganging up.
And there are so many directors, and they all shout at me. It's the story of my life.
Paul Adam did write an episode before.
Did
Do
he?
you remember? Yeah.
No.
He was tried out.
No.
He was he not tried out
No.
before?
No.
In that case, I dreamt this, and then I won't bother saying what I thought I was going to say.
Well, what were you going to say?
That it was a magnificent achievement that we couldn't possibly do, but it was different from when David was writing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was his trial
So-
then.
so- I
if you're
thought
right.
it was tried out before, or we had this conversation. So shut up, Gibson. I think that's the answer. Anyway,
So
the
if
first
this
thing
was, if this was his first episode or not, it was, as you say, it was something of an achievement.
Yeah.
Because it's a bit like taking over from another actor, as an actor taking over a character,
yeah.
which is well known to the audience from another actor. It's an impossible task.
But you know that thing we were saying about David saying, always make it real, make it truthful and all that stuff.
Mm.
And Michelle of the Resistance comes in gasping and she says, listen very carefully, I will gasp this only once. David would not have let that line through
No.
because it was self-referential.
Yes.
And there were a couple of those sort of things, like the two old people. The fact that they floated away for so long wouldn't happen. I don't think David would have accepted that either. But,
no, probably not.
but they also came on in goggles. And where did they come from?
Yes.
And Monsieur Leclerc's tie was like a sort of wacky racist thing. It was cartoonish. But,
Yes.
But it would have had to have wire in it, and a tie wouldn't do that in real life.
Yes.
No.
And it's comical, but I don't think... I think it's inconsistent with the style
Because
that David sets up.
because up to this point, everyone has always played it for the truth.
Exactly.
The thing I did like about it was the reference to the fact that they had been shot down over Upfield. I liked that.
Oh, yes. No, it was
Just
funny.
the vision of them having been
And
shot
they looked
down.
funny, and the scene was funny. It was just...
I
David would have said, play it for the truth.
Play it.
And having said that, the two airmen appear from under frying pans. And we've joked about it, that in this show, there's absolutely no reason why they'd be under a moose head. And we accepted it before. And because of those other things, when they were under the frying pans, you thought, that is a bit contrived.
Yes.
Because they would have had to make a space for them simply to go, hello.
Yes.
Am I being overcritical?
No, I don't think
No,
you
I think
are,
that's
because it was very contrived. The frying pans and the why would they have been? How could they have been behind that wall? What was on the other side of that wall?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Edith would never have poured a whole thing of salt into the soup. It's that kind of stuff. It's a funny visual, but I think the joy, the thing that people love most about, one of the things that people love the most about Hello Hello is that it's a village. It's a town.
A community.
It's a community, and it's almost got a soap opera feel. And you believe and you care about the characters, and you imagine the town outside the room.
And you have to remember the situation. They're still at war.
Yeah.
Everyone, for one reason or another, is in fear of their lives.
Liable to be shot at any moment.
Yes.
Yes.
And that sense of danger has gone at the moment. It
Yes.
probably comes back.
Yes.
All of that said, I think there was a lovely scene in the Colonel's office with von Flockenstuffen.
Yes.
When he and I finally decided that we were going to do some redecorating, because that was far
Yes.
more important than capturing British airmen, because the carpet was absolutely ghastly, and the walls.
You'd have had no interest in the British airmen.
None at all.
Well, you're German.
I was much more interested in redecoration.
But you're German anyway, so you wouldn't know about the airmen. Gruber wouldn't know about the airmen.
Yes, he knows. He knows that Rennie is.
Would you know?
He is a part of the resistance whom he does not know. Gruber knows that perfectly well. I mean, there was a
Yes,
scene.
but you don't know about the specific airman.
Not
I don't think he'd be on that storyline.
not the specific airman, but the point is, from
About the
Flockenstuffen
war.
says,
The war generally.
I'm not interested
Yeah.
in war stuff. I'm much more interested in redecorating the office.
Yes.
And Gruber immediately agrees and says, yes, let's talk about the pictures.
Yes.
They're ghastly. And, what sort of picture would you have on that wall? Like,
Yes.
oh, I think perhaps an impressionist. What did you think?
Yes.
And that's much more of interest
Yeah.
to Hubert than shooting peasants.
Yes.
And they got full value out of not only Ken Morley as von Flockenstuffen, but also out of the general, who by this time is in the hospital and he's losing his marbles. He's not losing his marbles. He's in a straitjacket. So he's trying to make a phone call.
He's got his marbles back.
Yes.
But it's a sort of fast situation, isn't it? Because he's trying to make a phone call, but it looks as if he's gone completely doolally. Because
the phone is
they can't see
beside
the
a fruit
phone.
bowl.
Yeah.
There's a fruit bowl with lots and lots of fruit, and he's managed to get the phone out with his teeth and rattle the, whatever you call it, the cradle with his nose. And then he leans in to talk to it, but it's beside the fruit bowl. So when the general and Gruber come in, they think he's talking to the fruit. And so he ain't getting out.
And he's and at the moment they walk in, the operator has said, "Dial the number yourself. I'm not getting it for you." And so he's insulting her. He's telling her she's going to be fired, and how dare she, and then she'll be shot, and all this.
So he's insulting the fruit.
So it looks as if
bowl.
he's insulting the fruit.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
If you don't behave, I'll shoot you.
Yes.
To a lemon.
And that is very Jeremy.
That
And
is.
that's very much like, if you go back to Are You Being Served and things, those kind of situations and visual misunderstandings.
Yes.
And that's Jeremy at his best.
Yes.
Farce,
Absolutely
in fact.
delightful.
It is farce.
Yeah.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha.
Now, I also want to do a wig watch.
Go on then.
Helga's wig. It's completely changed.
Didn't notice it.
It's flatter. It's much more squished down. There aren't the sort of nice little bits that I
bangs.
liked. And, they're sort of finger waves.
Yes.
And it's bright yellow. It's bright yellow, completely different
Did you have
colour.
a set to about it with the makeup?
I don't think so. I don't think I particularly noticed at the time.
You didn't know you'd be doing Wig Watch 40 years
No,
later.
exactly. And I probably didn't notice at the time when they were putting it on. You don't sort
Yeah.
of particularly scrutinise and go, that's a different colour, especially as it's a year later, of course.
Yes.
I think Hubert was rather getting above himself, because as he and I, as von Flockenstuffen and I left the office, I held out my glass to you to be taken.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
But there's always that little sort of competitive thing.
Slight
between you.
frisson between us, yes.
Yeah.
And then her saying that Gruber's getting very crawly.
Crawley.
Yes, that was very good. And also, Bertarelli saying to me he wanted to go to the cinema and sit in the back row for a bit of slap and tickle, and I
Yes.
just gave him he goosed me, and so I just slapped
Yes.
him. So he just got the slap and no tickle.
And yeah.
We
And
ought to mention that in the last series, Bertarelli was played by Gavin Richards. In this one, it's Roger Kidder. And
Roger
this was
Kidder
his
has
first
taken
episode.
over.
Yeah.
His first episode.
So massive credit to him.
Yes.
That's no fun taking over a part.
No,
No,
massive
not
credit
at
to
all.
both
And
the
he did
new
a damn
actors.
good job. And we haven't mentioned...
Robin Parkinson, who took over from Derek Royal.
And we
Yes.
didn't mention him
As
in the
Monsieur
very
Clare.
beginning, because he walked in straight away with Madame Fanny. And that
Yes.
is Robin Parkinson, who is a distinguished actor in his
Yeah.
own right.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Derek Royal had died in between the two series
Yes.
and sadly missed.
Sadly missed.
But
I'll second
very
that.
nicely introduced. I told you that story before, but I'm going to tell you again. When we were on location, have I told you this story?
Yeah,
Can I tell
you
it
did
again?
tell it again. It's always
Because
okay.
Robin Parkinson and I were on location in the wardrobe caravan, and there was a pair of boots that said Jack Haig, who was the first Monsieur Leclerc, and somebody just put a line through it and written Derek Royal. They put a line through that and it said Robin Parkinson, because they obviously were all the same size. And he just looked at me and said, "Guess it looks like I'm next." But he lived for a very long time after.
Good old Robin.
He certainly lasted till the end of the series.
He did.
Whether
and he
he's
was
lasted
tremendous
until today,
fun.
I don't know.
And he also used to come on tour with us. He was in the stage show.
Yes.
He was.
And we went all over the place with him.
Yeah.
He was good value. Can I do a set watch? Is that too boring?
No, I think
do.
set watch is very important.
In the Colonel's office, up till now, in the last series, I kept thinking how much like... When you look out of the window, it's of course just a backdrop. And it looked very much like the sort of landscape around where we filmed. And it must have been somebody painted a likeness.
Yeah.
But in this one, there was lots of sort of what they call dingle. Like branches, but always in studios they've gone a bit dry and crispy, and it sort of looks like studio. And the same, and
oh, that's interesting. I hadn't noticed that.
you said interesting.
Yes,
It's interesting set
You're
watch.
Interesting set watch.
Richard.
I call that interesting.
Phew, that's no, it's the second. You said it to me last week as well.
Oh, did I? Gosh, I must watch myself.
Getting better.
I very much
I'll
liked
get
you.
uppity if we're not careful, won't we?
I very much liked, you mentioned the old couple coming in, having been arrested
Yes.
because they'd stolen a motorbike and crashed it through various
But
barriers.
that must be
and
where they
things.
got the goggles. I take
That's
back.
On
right.
the motorbike.
I take
They
back
had-
what I said about
because
the
they'd
goggles.
stolen a motorbike, so obviously the motorbike had goggles.
Yes.
It was
I take
intact.
it back, Paul and Jeremy.
Was intact with goggles. So in they come, and they'd committed all these crimes of theft of a motorbike, destruction of property, driving through barriers, and all this. And the Colonel says to them, "What have you got to say for yourselves? You've committed all these crimes." And she says, "You are a fat pig." That made me laugh a lot.
It was properly funny. 'Cause she don't like Germans.
Yes.
She definitely don't like Germans.
Maybe that's why his tie was so stiff, because she'd been spitting at Germans.
Oh, that makes sense too.
Well, we
Sorry,
could-
Jeremy and
We
Paul.
could justify it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have we mentioned von Smallhausen?
Oh.
We haven't.
I mean, that was a bit over the top, but it was properly funny. Von Smallhausen was sent off by Herr Flick to go and get information by getting jailed. So he dresses up as a burglar with the stripes, and he has a balaclava and his glasses on the outside of the balaclava. And he's getting right cocky now, isn't he?
Did he not have a ball and chain as well, or something?
At some point.
Well, maybe he didn't.
No, that
I
was
mean,
another episode.
Yeah.
It's another episode, yeah.
But anyway, he failed dismally to actually get arrested
Oh
because
yes.
he went into the Colonel's office,
Yeah.
and you were in the reception area.
Yes, and I
in-
knew he'd got in there.
And in comes Bertarelli and spoils it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, but I'm terribly guilty. You need to arrest me. I'm guilty. I've committed all these crimes. And Bertarelli says, no.
We'll just turn you upside down,
Yes.
shake all the coins out of your
Yes, so
pocket,
then-
and
and
send
send
you
you
on your
packing.
way.
Send you on your way, yeah.
But the idea that burglars dress up with stripes like the Beano. I'm a burglar because I'm dressed up like one.
Exactly.
But
And
you
with a
could've-
bag labelled swag.
Yes. But because it's von Smallhausen, you kind of accept it. don't
Yes, yes.
you? But maybe in Jeremy and Paul's mind, they think in cartoons. And maybe the things that I'm saying don't quite ring true is because they think in cartoons as opposed to real things. So that's a cartoon burglar, isn't it?
Yes.
And the tie going up like that is the wacky
It's
races, isn't
cartoon.
it?
That's a very good point.
Yes.
And something I hadn't thought of.
Yeah.
As soon as you say the word cartoon, it all sort of begins to make sense.
Because another thing, actually, which I had noticed, is that it was all the scenes were sort of funny, self-contained scenes. There wasn't a story.
So they become almost like sketches.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which, of course, was Jeremy's great Rowan and Martin days. was
Yes, laughing,
sketch
yes.
writing.
Yes, of course.
And it's also, two new writers working together for the first time, sort of feeling their way. They
Yes.
haven't yet
Yeah.
got the rhythm
Yes.
that David and Jeremy had in writing
And
together.
I would also imagine that Paul Adam, the new writer, is suddenly going to turn to Jeremy and say, this is too much like sketches. This is, he's going to go along with it, isn't he? Because he is the new boy, so to speak. And
Yes.
And to be fair, there had been quite a odd episodes that David and Jeremy wrote together, in which we said this is more a series of set pieces and sketches than.
Yep.
So it isn't an overall criticism of those writers.
No,
because it's something
not
that
at
we have
all.
observed before.
Yes.
And my God, it's quite a challenge just to write an episode.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see the next ones, to see if they get into that flow, the plot. Because there are some lovely plots coming up which we're not allowed to mention.
Yes.
But I can think of some very nice episodes that are pure story.
So that's it. And I suppose they are at the moment setting up those stories with the individual scenes that we had in this episode.
Does anyone know why I've written down flowers?
Bertarelli gave me some flowers and I said thank you very much.
Just dumped them on the desk.
Threw them down. Yes. Well.
Yes, because it was rather a nice bunch of flowers, which he'd obviously spent a lot of money on.
Yes.
With a lovely ribbon and everything. She just went, oh, thanks.
Is it because he's a VOP and she doesn't
She doesn't like him.
He doesn't fancy him.
Doesn't fancy him at all. She slapped him the last time she saw him.
And because he was instrumental. I mean, he caused all the problem between you and me. He was because I was flirting with him, which I shouldn't have been. But, I was egging him on when I had my apartment in the chateau, which presumably I don't have anymore.
Since you're back to being a private.
Yeah.
But you were egging him on for reasons. You had been ordered to egg him on.
Absolutely.
You weren't doing it because you like him.
Oh, no.
The last time he tried to flirt with you, you smacked him very hard.
Yeah.
But you sort of don't mind him flirting as well, as long as it doesn't go anywhere.
I think I'm slightly, I think I'm a bit insulted by it, actually.
Actually, no, you pretend to like it to make people like Hair Flick jealous.
That's true.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, have we covered everything, do you think?
Well, I think
you had a funny story.
I have
you,
not.
You've
I
got
have
some
nothing
funny
else
stories.
written down.
I want one of your tales.
Funny story.
Because we had Lost in the Jungle was last week. Have you got one for us this week?
I can't remember I think I might have told the story about the Swansea-Cork Ferry.
Don't remember that.
Which is nothing. Yeah, it was actually nothing to do with work. I wasn't working. I was going over with my husband to Kerry to have a little bit of a break.
Oh yes.
And our nephews, or John's nephews, really, Nolan's, have got a place in Kerry that we were going to go and stay in, and they were all meeting to play golf, which I never sort of got involved in. I'd go wandering off and go shopping things while they were playing golf. And anyway,
antiquing.
We met up with a couple of the nephews who happened to be on the ferry as well, and they had somehow, because it wasn't, it hadn't been booked, they had got the royal suite at this suite sort of at the top of the ferry to spend the night in, and they said, you've got to come and see it. And so we went and had a look after having had a very loud and riotous dinner, which had got slightly out of hand, but that's another story. And we staggered back to admire their suite, and one of them had got a bottle of duty-free something or other, and so we began drinking that. And we always have a laugh with these particular nephews. And it did get rather out of hand, and eventually we were very drunk, and John and I needed to go back to our cabin. John wasn't particularly drunk. I was legless, so he was helping me back. And there was one of these sliding doors that opens up to the deck on the other side. You have to go through it, and we needed to get out onto the deck to get back to the staircase, back to our cabin.
Your humble cabin.
Our humble cabin. And the sliding door opened, and I sort of lurched through it a bit, and then sort of came back because I was a bit unnecessary on my feet. And the door somehow slid across and sort of trapped my head. So I got my head trapped between the side of the door frame and this electric door. And it was quite painful, and John had to sort of wrench it open, whereupon I fell dramatically to the floor going, ow, my head. And by then this had started to cause a little bit of a stir. And I said, call the captain. captain. I need the captain. So whoever it was, some poor member of staff had to dash off and get the captain, and the captain arrived, and John in the meantime was sort of quite embarrassed about the whole thing. And oh God, I really cringe with embarrassment when I think about it.
Oh good,
now.
I love these bits.
The captain arrived and sort of was all very sensible and grown up, and I said, I want you to marry us. And the captain went, oh. And John said, don't worry, we're already married. We've been married for quite a few years. No, I want to get married aboard a ship. Eventually, I was dragged off back to the cabin. The captain obviously mooched off back to the bridge or wherever he was supposed to be all along. Anyway, we did our holiday, marvellous. 4 days later or something, coming back, got onto the ferry, and everyone's going, hello, have you had a nice holiday? And I thought, why is everyone... Of course, I didn't recognise all these members of the staff who had all been witness to me roaring around, completely drunk. And that's the end of the story, really.
They remembered you and you didn't remember them.
No. Of course, by then I was being quite sniffy and hello.
Because you hadn't had your gin yet.
I was sober.
I thought you were going to say when you came back onto the ship on the return trip, there was the captain standing there with a Bible already.
It would have been wonderful,
and some
wouldn't
flowers.
it? Yeah.
All ready to marry you.
Oh, God. Well, that's that. And there'll be more, won't there?
There'll
be more next week.
There'll be more next week.
Yes.
Yes, we've done 4. We've had a nice little sojourn in Kim's kitchen, and we
Yes, because what we do is we arrive one day and we do 2 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and we might have the little bit of prosecco sometimes, and a little
touch of
tiny
gin.
bit of gin sometimes,
With a bit of food
a
afterwards.
bit of food, and then we stay the night, and then we get up and we
tiny bit of breakfast.
spend about
Little
4
more
hours
prosecco.
4 hours having breakfast, and then we actually do a couple of pods,
Do 2 more pods,
And,
and then we go home.
and then we go home.
We're going to eat some pizza before you go home.
Oh,
How
So,
lovely.
yeah,
Yes.
in fact, that's something we wanted to start talking about.
kitchen corner.
Kitchen corner. We want to start talking about our cooking tips.
Yes.
We all spend so much time when we're not actually recording going, oh, and have you tried this? And I've got a marvellous method for that. And we actually said this morning we should be discussing this on the pod
We really should.
More than that, what we should be doing is making them and filming them
and eating them.
and then eating them.
More importantly, eating them.
Yes.
Yes.
But we could call it kitchen corner.
We've got gin corner. We'll have to call it something else.
We've got potty corner,
Cookery corner.
cookery corner.
Or kitchen. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
Kitchen
yet.
corner.
Oh, okay, so we're just going to have lots of corners. Yeah.
Lots of
Oh,
corners.
why not?
Cooking
But we
corner.
haven't done that yet. We've got road trips to do.
Yes,
We're gonna be
travel
busy on
corner.
Travel
much.
corner.
Yes. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the next episode in this new series,
Yes.
Series 7,
Exactly.
because I'm really interested to see how it develops.
Yes. And we'll tell you all about it in the next one.
Yeah.
So,
Can't wait.
Meanwhile,
off we go.
Off we go like a herd of turtles. Goodbye.
And lovely to see you all in my kitchen.
Bye.
Bye. So, if you have any questions,
Or answers.
Or stories. Or
Kim,
Guy.
or Richard,
contact us on
helga.com. That's pod@helga.com.